time once again for another Monday morning water cooler right here on the Kanika Sports Channel, everybody. Woo! That's a mouthful. We are here. We got a lot to talk about. The Bears win again in dramatic fashion on a Sunday. The Monday Night Football matchup has piqued my interest tonight, Nika. The Bulls have lost back-to-back games on the road after their hot start. The Blackhawks, are they back, everybody?
Maybe.
Baseball Awards Week is upon us. We are kicking it off tonight with the Rookie of the Year, and we are going to go through that schedule for you. Speaking of baseball, some arrests were made following those NBA arrests. I wonder if they're tied together.
Maybe.
And that is, of course, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, who were suspended earlier this year for suspicion of gambling. They are now charged in a criminal investigation around gambling case that they say goes back to 2023. We're talking about it. And then we got some Raw happening tonight in Boston, and we got to talk about some predictions and some previews for that.
All right.
And last but not least, SmackDown surprises from last Friday. But first, before we get into any of this information, we must ask you for a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a sports update right here from us here at Kanika Sports. We try to keep up with as much as we can and spray it around to all fields, and we just like to have fun and be a little bit different over here. A little bit of a breakup from what you're used to seeing in the establishment or even the YouTube world. All right, Nico, well, let's talk about the Bears right off the get-go here. And apparently Caleb Williams is ending careers, everybody, because the New York Football Giants, as of this morning and as of my Twitter feed blowing up, have fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Caleb Williams
is that a breaking news?
Has ended his career as Giants head coach, apparently, after the comeback victory yesterday, his second in 2 weeks as Bears quarterback. That is just still never going to feel not weird to say. The Bears comeback quarterback.
That's great. We always wanted a four-quarter quarterback.
Absolutely. And for all the people that have been clamoring, like, well, eventually Caleb Williams is going to have to win us a game. Yesterday was that game for him. He came through when it mattered the most. And I would argue that his receivers let him down big time yesterday. And anyone that wants to think the Bears have some kind of competitive edge in cold weather games is just lying to themselves.
We're not going to get into this.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, the Bears win. It was a great victory over the New York Football Giants, and we're going to be doing our Bears post-game show, which is a whole separate recording right after this water cooler segment. But for now, we're moving on. We got a Monday Night Football game, Nika, to talk about, and it is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Green Bay Packers. And whoa, would you look at those standings, everybody? The Bears and the Lions, 6-3 apiece in the NFC North. And the Green Bay Packers, 5-2-1 right now, hanging on by a thin thread. They need a victory tonight in order to maintain their position in first place. Otherwise, they will drop to third, everybody.
Wow. How are the Eagles?
Well, the Eagles are the defending champs, but they have not looked like it a lot of the season. Nevertheless, the Philadelphia Eagles are still in second place in the NFC. In the entire conference, ahead of the Packers. I mean, this is a big game. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the second and third ranked teams in the conference right now. And it would be a huge, huge drop for the Packers because, I mean, they would fall from third to eighth, everybody, if they lose tonight. Because the Bears, the Lions, the Rams, and the Buccaneers all have 2 or 3 losses, and this would be the Packers' third loss, but because they have that tie, they would have less wins than all those teams. So they would immediately fall to the bottom of that barrel.
All right.
Interestingly enough. All right, well, lots on the line tonight. Monday Night Football. I'm going to be watching. You're going to be watching. We're all going to be watching, right?
Absolutely.
Go Bears and go Eagles, I guess, tonight. The other reason to watch is because the Bears play the Eagles coming up on Black Friday.
And that's not
that far away. Yeah. And so I'm doing a little early scouting, everybody.
Sure.
And we have to play the Packers twice, by the way, this year. Oh, those are going to be stressful games. I don't want to think about it just yet. Nika,
Yes.
let's get back to it. We got to talk about doubles.
Oh,
It
they
was
lost.
a little bit of a rough weekend here for our baby Bulls after their hot start at 6-1.
that was expected.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them win one of these two games just to kind of have it be more of a statement game in a sense. But losing both kind of stings a little bit, especially that second game in Cleveland. And because it was 72-56 Bulls at halftime, they were literally up by 16 after the first half of that game. And it feels like they just
Didn't
let
have
it
enough.
get away from them. There was a saying, even when I was a kid on SportsCenter, every team in the NBA makes a run in the second half. Like that, they'll close the gap. And
Well,
this,
we've seen the Bulls do that to other teams.
we have. They did it to the 76ers
Right.
just last week to get their sixth win and take that early Eastern Conference standings lead.
Right.
That's gone. And we knew this was going to be a bumpy road for the baby Bulls a little bit. And this is one of those spots. You're talking about the Cavs and the Bucks. Those are two of the top teams in the Central Division. They're in the same division as the Bulls. This was a tough back-to-back.
Sure.
It's tough to have to play both those teams back-to-back.
I know, but the Bulls can't hang. They showed they can hang.
They showed they
with
could
those
hang.
teams.
The Bucks went on a late run to make that game look a lot worse than it was, but it was like 5 or 6 points in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
And the Cavs game ends with a 6-point Cavs victory. The Bulls were up by 2 at the end of the third quarter. They were up by 16 at halftime. You can see the Cavs just outbeat them in both of those quarters enough.
They're still baby Bulls, so they got
They
growing
are.
pains.
They are. And we'll see how things play out in their next matchups against both those teams, especially when we're bound to play them at our place,
Sure.
everybody. And speaking of our place, the Bulls will have a chance to get it going again tonight against the San Antonio Spurs and young Victor Wembanyama. What a phenomenon he is.
Oh.
I was almost going to say a phenomenal athlete, but he's just a phenomenon. I mean, 7'4", and he moves like Kevin Durant to me. He has
Tall
literally
guy.
like sort of the same physique as Kevin Durant, just 7 or 8 inches taller.
Wow. And
He is a beast.
Yeah.
He
That's
is
going
a
to be a tough
beast.
game for the Bulls.
It is, but it's another good early season challenge, and we can start to see what this team is really going to be made of. I hope and pray, I guess, that they are a playoff team. The more cracks that they can get at that apple with this young group, the better off they're going to be in the long run. Your Josh Giddey update, everybody. No triple doubles this weekend, but he did have a double-double, everybody. And that was his 7th double-double through 8 games this season. This was against Milwaukee, and that is tied for the most in the NBA this season. So Josh Giddey, we talked about him last week, triple-doubles machine, also getting double-doubles done as well. They're not quite as impressive, but they are still fun to watch. Hey, Nika, we're going to do something a little different.
Oh, yeah?
Let's take it to the ice, shall we?
Oh, boy.
We have to talk about the Hawks, the Chicago Blackhawks, everybody.
We haven't talked about the Hawks yet.
We haven't. And just so everyone knows, Nika and I were there for the 3 championships,
We were.
2010, 2012, and was it 2015? I don't remember the exact years now. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yes.
But nevertheless, the Blackhawks are back, baby, and they are being led by their young third-year player now, Connor Bedard. And lo and behold, would you look at that, as of this morning, Connor Bedard is the NHL points leader. And he has 25. He takes a lead over Nathan McKinnon and Macklin Celebrini. Connor Bedard is your points leader, and he has an 8-game point streak, Nika. He has 8 straight games where he's put up either a goal or an assist or both, sometimes more than one. So that's how he is getting to the top here. And it says 7 goals, 8 assists, 18 points over the last 8 games. We haven't been watching. I'm not going to lie here, but I might start to tune in, everybody.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but my interest in the NHL is solely dependent on whether or not the Blackhawks are decent. And
They look like they might be.
They look like they might be. And if they're back, then I'm back, baby.
Okay.
Respect the Indian.
Respect the Indian.
They're in 3rd place right now, by the way, in the Central Division, 8-5 on the season. 3 overtime losses. So not looking all too shabby. 3 wins in a row on the road.
That's nice.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's
We're
see
gonna
how
check
it
out
all
the
plays
Hawks.
out. I want to ask the question before we move on. When is the last time that a Chicago baseball team, this year it would be the Cubs, the Bears, the Bulls, and the Hawks, all made the playoffs in the same calendar year?
I don't know.
I don't know either off the top of my head, and I'm not going to do Google AI right now to find out the answer, but wouldn't that be a story?
If all the Chicago teams
After
made
all the
it?
misery and all the years of just underperformance and
Huh?
sports misery, I guess you could call it. I mean, what a time to be alive and covering Chicago sports.
Well, the Bulls have a bumpy road ahead. The Hawks might too. So maybe they will make it. So far, they look like they might.
Yeah, we just want to see progress here. We'll see how everything plays out even for the Bears,
That's
who
true.
have a very tough end to their 2025 season, everybody.
Exactly.
More on that on our post-game show as we get there. But now we got to turn our attentions once again to the Diamonds and talk some baseball, Nika. It is awards week.
Yay.
The baseball season never ends, everybody.
I guess.
Also, GMs are descending upon Las Vegas for the general managers meetings.
Oh, I thought you were going to say gambling. But
Well, they might want to talk about that too, because more on that in a second. But in the meantime, the off season has officially begun. The general managers meetings are kind of looked at as the official kickoff, I think, of the off season. And most teams, I think, except for the Rockies, have their managerial vacancies filled. The Rookie of the Year award will be announced tonight. And then we have the rest of the awards this week. Manager of the Year is tomorrow. The Cy Young is on Wednesday. And MVP, which we all know is going to be Ohtani in the National League, will be announced on Thursday. So we will wait and see. Did Cal Raleigh
made it? Or
pull off the unexpected and win the American League MVP? Man, we've seen some saltiness this weekend online. You know, Pete Crow Armstrong did not win the Platinum Glove. He won the Gold Glove, but the fan vote decides the Platinum Glove, and Fernando Tatis Jr. won. And if you're a Chicagoan and you're upset about this, you need to look in the mirror and blame yourself. I mean, the Chicago media market is so much bigger than San Diego. Trust me on this. I know both markets very well. Chicago dominates, and there's no excuses that they should have lost this fan vote.
maybe people didn't know.
They didn't get out the vote, everybody,
guess.
and the Padres did, and Fernando gets more platinum hardware to take home. Sorry, not sorry.
It's a competition in the who is more popular. It's a popularity contest.
It is. So the Platinum Glove Awards, the Silver Sluggers are announced already. We missed some of that stuff. No worries. But we will keep track of these Final Four awards as we head into the All MLB team, which is next week. And baseball never sleeps, Nika. The federal government is now getting involved in baseball.
All right. Not as a team, though.
The Cleveland Guardians right-handers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz face multiple federal charges after prosecutors alleged a widespread gambling scheme involving intentionally throwing pitches for balls. The details and Ortiz's denial free at ESPN, courtesy of Jeff Passan. Thank you, Jeff, for making this free. I read the article, but we're just going to keep it on the tweets because he did a nice breakdown of all of this with the tweets. I want to continue here, and then we can talk about it for a second. Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz have been indicted by prosecutors in Brooklyn on a host of charges related to a scheme to rig bets on pitches thrown in Major League Baseball games. Ortiz was arrested in Boston earlier today. Clase is currently not in custody.
Oh, he's running. I'm just kidding. We don't
Snap.
know.
You want to hide now, buddy? Maybe. You might want to. The 23-page indictment against them lays out the alleged scheme for the pitchers to intentionally throw balls so bettors could wager on pitches to be balls or strikes. It started, prosecutors say, as early as May 2023 with Clase and later included Ortiz. So he was brought in. Luis Ortiz was on the Pirates in 2023.
So are they going to question those games that happened back in the day?
I don't think so. This is literally like him. If you remember, they showed videos of these on Twitter back when it first got announced, people were able to figure out which pitches they were because of the fact that a ton of money got wagered on certain pitches.
Yes.
And they literally spiked them in the dirt. It was like they intentionally threw the ball just in the dirt, made it look like they fumbled control of the ball or something, like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, move on. How many balls in the dirt do you see every game? You
A
know,
lot.
like
It happens. It's not
so they
something
thought
new.
they could get away with it, and unfortunately they put too much money at a time.
That's what
and
caused
I
it.
do want to say one thing before we get on with these final two tweets that we're going to read, but why in the hell is anyone in Ohio allowing gambling on balls and strikes? Like, oh, I think the next pitch is going to be a ball. Oh, yeah? I think it's going to be a strike. Like, come on. This is ridiculous, man. Like, if you don't allow the practice in the first place, this never happens. But I blame whoever allowed this to happen.
Okay. But people are going to gamble no matter what.
Fine. Let them do it on the black market.
Oh, okay. All right.
This was done out in the open in front of everybody.
I see.
The casinos are literally allowing this type of betting to take place, and that it does not. This is not necessarily allowed in Vegas. Like, you can't like go into a sports bookie and be like, yeah, I want to bet on the first pitch being a ball, the third pitch being a strike, and the eighth pitch being a strike.
Let me call the pitcher now.
Yeah. Ring, ring. Hey, I got tonight's lineup for you.
Exactly.
Jeez. I just want to make that clear. All right. I want to read these tweets in order.
Go ahead.
Prosecutors allege that Luis Ortiz was paid $5,000 for throwing an intentional ball June 15th. And Emmanuel Clase was given $5,000 just for facilitating that pitch.
Oh, that's a big finder's
Little
fee.
$10,000 transaction there. We're talking about guys that make millions.
I
by
know,
the way.
this is like a pocket change.
This is going to come across making them look really, really foolish. They did it again, according to the indictment, June 27th. The payment for each on that pitch, $7,000 apiece.
Oh, so
yeah,
inflation.
the fees went up. The cost of bacon is going up
Sure,
every
yeah,
week
yeah.
these days. So
Inflation.
why wouldn't the cost for forging pitches?
It will go up.
Is that the right terminology?
I guess.
Who
If not,
cares?
we're going to coin it.
They forged a pitch, everybody. All right, the final little note here I want to read. In a statement to ESPN, Major League Baseball said MLB contacted federal law enforcement at the outset of its investigation and has fully cooperated throughout the process. We are aware of the indictment and today's arrest, and our investigation is ongoing.
Okay.
These guys are never pitching again.
No, I don't think so. Not with that resume now.
Luis Ortiz, who was arrested and is not fleeing or whereabouts unknown, unlike Emmanuel Clase at the moment, he released a statement through his attorney. It reads, Luis Ortiz is innocent of the charges related to two pitches he threw. He has never and would never improperly influence a game, not for anyone and not for anything. Luis is and always has been a fierce competitor. He has always given his best effort in every inning of every game. Those who have played with him know this, and the government's investigation, including discussion with Luis's teammates, supports this as well. That's kind of an interesting statement. Anyways, the statement goes on to say just a bunch of things about like he always wants to win and he will defend himself, and he's denying the charges basically. Okay. And I wonder how hard this is going to be to prove, and
You have to prove the intent.
Well, you have to prove the intent and the money paper trail, I would assume. So that's the one thing that makes me leery if I'm Luis Ortiz, is like they seem to know the amounts that you got paid and on what dates.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Luis Ortiz was arrested in Boston, and we are now going to move our conversation to Boston, where WWE Raw is happening tonight. And John Cena, everybody, is making, I believe, his final Raw appearance.
Yes, he's
in
from
Boston. Where he's from. Thank you.
Yep.
And he is labeled here as the greatest of all time, the GOAT. It's hard to argue anymore. He's definitely going to be on that Mount Rushmore of WWE, and it's up to you who the rest of the three are going to be on that mountain.
Sure.
But I think John Cena, he stands alone above them.
So that he's gonna have a final appearance today.
He's
tonight.
definitely going to have an appearance. I'm assume that we might find out more of the tournament matches that are going to be happening, as we also have 2 matches for the tournament happening tonight. The first matchup is Damian Priest, who is taking on Rusev, and I'm curious what shape Damian Priest is going to be in after he got into it with Aleister Black on SmackDown last Friday. This was during the final main event, Cody Rhodes versus Aleister Black. That was a turn of events. Aleister Black challenging Cody Rhodes at the beginning of the show, but I digress. Damian Priest came out, and of course, he's still upset about his eye injury and the burn. We'll have to see if that injury has any effect on this matchup with Rusev tonight, but I like that we're going to get to see some matchups we normally don't get to see, and I'm glad they're putting Damian Priest, a bigger dude, up against Rusev, who's a bigger dude.
Yes.
Well, we also have Sheamus taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, and this is matchup number 2, I guess, in the John Cena farewell last time is now tournament. I got to be honest, the Damian Priest Rusev matchup intrigues me a lot more than this matchup. Anyways, let's do a couple quick predictions for these matchups. Who do you like in these 2 matchups tonight?
Rusev and Priest, I will go with Damian Priest.
All right.
Because he never faced John Cena on the one-to-one matches.
Interesting.
So that might be a new challenge.
Yeah, I like the Damian Priest taking down Rusev in this matchup. I feel like Damian Priest just has a little bit more star stature right now than Rusev does. Not to take anything away from him. But when you're talking about a tournament like this, where I think you're going to want more of the bigger names advancing, it might just...
They might get eliminated eventually, but for this particular tournament, I would
correct. Yeah, and that's why I think I'm also going to take Sheamus over Shinsuke over here.
Yes.
Unless you disagree.
No, I agree with you completely.
Okay. All right. So Sheamus will move on tonight against Shinsuke, and Damian Priest moving on over Rusev. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
You heard it here first. All right. Well, we got some more Raw happening. Our girl, Stephanie Vaquer, the women's world champion, was at the Rangers game this weekend. The New York Rangers, the hockey Rangers.
Did she melt the ice?
I think the Chilean La Primera did indeed melt some of the ice out there. I mean, how could she not? Look at her.
Yep.
She was also gifted this New York Rangers title, a La Primera #1 New York Rangers hockey jersey. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And we love the WWE sports crossovers. Anytime I see them and find them, I will try to include them in these discussions. But meanwhile, hopefully Stephanie didn't get too cold on the ice, because she's got a matchup tonight with R-Rod, everybody, as I'm calling her, Raquel Rodriguez. That's right. If no one's nicknamed her that yet, shame on you. We are starting the trend here. I mean, there's A-Rod, there's J-Rod.
No, it's R-Rod.
There's R-Rod, everybody. And a woman is joining the Dash Rod rankings. Okay? All right. Well, this is a women's world championship bout tonight, Nika. And who do we think is coming out on top between these 2?
Stephanie.
Yeah, I don't think Raquel is going to be taking home any hardware tonight. Stephanie is a cut above right now.
Yes.
And she complements nicely with Jade Cargill now being the women's WWE champion. So I don't think Raquel is taking home any hardware tonight.
I don't either. Do you think some of the Judgment Day might interfere in that match?
Obviously, Stephanie and Nikki Bella have a little friendship going, and it's carried over with the Judgment Day. I'm not a big fan of the Nikki Bella-Stephanie friendship, as you know, but I would assume that it's going to kind of continue with this matchup tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I think someone's going to interfere, and Nikki's going to come down and help out. Now, you know, hopefully nothing happens to Stephanie's match as a result of Nikki Bella interfering. Otherwise, friendship might be over. That might make me happy, but not Stephanie not being champion. That won't make me happy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take the belt away from her. She just needs to solidify her reign.
She does. All right. Well, let's keep it on the women for a second.
Sure.
We have a women's tag team championship matchup tonight. It is going to be the Kabuki Warriors challenging Blissful Flair for their women's tag team titles. And this has all been building for the past few weeks. It started with the Bayley and Lyra Valkyria matchup against the Blissful Flair on Raw. And then the Kabuki Warriors interfered in that matchup. They get their title chance, but beforehand, they snuck attacked them on SmackDown and gave them a little bit of the green mist, Asuka's green poison mist.
Yep.
She snuck attacked them. This was after Charlotte Flair's match with Nia Jax on SmackDown Friday. More on that in a minute. But who do we think is going to win this matchup tonight?
That's a tough one.
You think so?
Yeah, because they've been tag team champions for a minute, so I feel like the belt might change hands. Although I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not ready for Blissful Flair to be done being champions yet, but at the same time, I hear what you're saying. It's been a minute now that they've had the titles, and we always called them a tag team of convenience, and we always wanted them to win the belts because of that. But I guess as performers, I don't know how long they want to be entangled in this tag team when maybe they see themselves as solo artists. Whereas the Kabuki Warriors are more of an established tag team, and they also have like this kind of sub-unsub relationship right now with each other, with Kairi kind of being the puppet of Asuka. So I guess I could see them winning the belts tonight, and only because I feel like I don't think Charlotte and Alexa are going to stay together forever.
No, they
as a
will
tag
not.
team. Although, and we also saw Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair getting teased as being a possible matchup for Jade. And I have to say, Jade has quite an impressive physique, and Charlotte's one of the few I feel like that could stand next to her and look the part.
Sure.
So I wouldn't hate it if they got into a feud with each other. And, I wouldn't hate it if Charlotte eventually became champion again either. Though I do want to have Jade, or I do want to see Jade have a nice long title run here. Lots to think about.
Yeah.
Lots to digest there. All right. Well, the only other thing going on tonight that we know of for sure is this guy, CM Punk, the world heavyweight champion, will be making an appearance on Raw tonight, and he is going to have something to say about what happened last week on Raw. And that, of course, was him getting brass knucked by Logan Paul, of all people, who showed up after a 2-month vacation since Paris and decided to get in bed with the wise man.
Yep. He's
So
joining division.
yes, we'll have to see what CM Punk has to say about this. It seems like CM Punk is more he's more at odds with Paul Heyman more than anybody, and it's who Paul Heyman's with that becomes CM Punk's rival.
Yes.
With Seth Rollins obviously out of the picture right now with that sad shoulder injury, we get Logan Paul maybe being his replacement in a stable that might or might not include Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. So
It could happen.
we'll have to wait and see how this shakes out. It's time to turn our attentions to some SmackDown surprises, everybody, because there were a lot of things happening on SmackDown. Julia, the United States champion, was facing Chelsea Green, and she loses.
She does.
Chelsea Green wins hardware again.
Yep.
She is the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, and now the United States Women's Champion. Crazy.
I like it.
I like it too. She has been comic relief for so long and the bunt of the joke.
Yes,
Or the
and now-
brunt of the joke, I should say. And now she gets a little bit of hardware times 2.
Yeah. You know what? She
And,
reminds me of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they both have become sort of comedic in storyline sometimes, and yet they're both now double champions. So congratulations to Chelsea Green. She pulls off the shocker,
Yeah,
everybody.
she did. It was awesome to see.
It was. We mentioned Jade Cargill a minute ago. She did a promo on SmackDown, and it was one of the shortest promos I
Yeah.
remember seeing in a long time, literally ending in a mic drop. She just announced that it's a new era. And
That's it.
That's it, really. Hey, it made for a nice photo op, and that costume was very spiky. I would not want to get into an entanglement with her while she's wearing that, everybody, because you might leave with a lot of stitches. here we get the honorary Triple H photo backstage, and I don't think we'd seen this yet for Jade. And damn, look at those guns. We mentioned her feud with Charlotte. I grabbed a few shots of it here, and as you can see, the Queen not really bothered by Jade's appearance, but I wouldn't mind seeing them get into an entanglement with each other. You can just see how kind of their statures are similar. All right, well, we mentioned Charlotte's matchup with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax scores the victory because Lash Legend, everybody, makes her WWE TV debut, and it looks like they're going to be an item here, Nika.
Not surprised.
Yeah, Nia has been making some NXT appearances, and now Lash Legend joins her on SmackDown for the first time, and she's helped Nia score a victory over Charlotte here.
Are we seeing a tag team in the making?
Yeah, I don't know what's next for Nia Jax. She's been involved with Tiffy Time and Jade all summer, and it kind of ended with Jade getting those stitches. And then when we saw her come back, she's been in this new entanglement here. So, yeah, not sure what's next for her future, except for the fact that it's going to involve Lash. And they'll probably break up at some point and have a match.
Of course.
So we got that to look forward to, everybody. All right, last but certainly not least, the biggest thing that went down on SmackDown Friday night was Drew McIntyre getting suspended, everybody.
He got banished.
And as you can see here, this is why he came out during the Cody Rhodes-Aleister Black matchup, wreaking havoc. He was in white this time, I noticed. He's been usually dressed in that black tank top. This time he was in a white tank top with white shoes. And I don't know if he was trying to sway the judges in his favor with the white angel look, but it didn't work. He went after the referee, who I feel like he blames for costing him his title matchup at Saturday night's main event. You can see the kick to the face he's giving him here. What a boot. What a boot. I mean, say what you will about Drew McIntyre, but that is an amazing specimen right there. Nevertheless, Nick Aldis suspends Drew McIntyre for getting involved in this matchup. Not happy. And this actually continued off the air, Nika. We don't get this very often, but we had a little bonus coverage on social media. Drew McIntyre's argument with Nick Aldis continued backstage, and he was basically escorted by Nick Aldis's security out of the building. I have to mention here, he's shirtless. He is without equipment or ring attire or garb of any kind. Just poor Drew McIntyre, shirtless, left out in the streets like a homeless man.
Hopefully his RV's parked somewhere close.
Hopefully. I mean, the dude could catch a cold out there at this time of season, you know? It's cold and flu season, everybody. And you got one of your top talents out there? I know he's suspended, but damn.
Rough.
Do you want him to go to the hospital too?
No.
Jeez, Nick Aldis, what are you doing? All right, everybody. Well, this has been the Monday Morning Water Cooler. We've been getting caught up, and we hope you have gotten caught up with us. Thanks for joining us.